to Port City Soul. I'm Jenna Krasina and this is Morgan Matthews. Today in the studio we will have two awesome performances, one soloist and one band.
But before we get started, let's get our weekly update from our City Spotlight reporter, Alex.
Hey, Alex here with the City Spotlight. For a good laugh and good food, head on down to the Dead Crow Comedy Room on 265 North Front Street. Doors open at 7 p.m. on $2 Tuesdays for comedy bingo night, Wednesdays for improv night, and Thursdays for open mic comedy night. Fridays and Saturdays start at 6 and 9 p.m. for scheduled events. Those events often sell out, so make sure to grab your ticket in advance on deadcrowcomedyroom.com. They bring out all kinds of comedians from all around, including big names from HBO, Showtime, and even Comedy Central, so don't miss out. I'm Alex, this is the City Spotlight. Thanks for tuning in.
Our first guest is Charlotte Evans. Charlotte is from Goldsboro, North Carolina, and is a senior at UNCW.
Charlotte is a Seabells member on campus and was the president just last year.
The Seabells recently performed in an international competition in Florida a few weeks ago, and they perform multiple times a year, showcasing their talents on and off campus.
Even though Charlotte mostly sings alongside others, she can perform as a soloist and rock it out all the same.
Please give a big Port City welcome to the lovely and talented Charlotte Evans.
Hey guys, my name is Charlotte Evans and I will be singing Runnin' by Naughty Boy featuring Beyonce. If I lose myself, I'll lose it all. If I lose myself, I'll lose it all. This is Fine by Casey Musgraves. Pick those tomatoes we grew off the vine. They look out the window, just killing time. I
reach for the phone just to make sure it's on, and I'm fine. I put on my makeup for no one at all. My heels on the hardwood echo down the hall. I open the wardrobe, put my face in your clothes, and I'm fine. I try to sleep, but just lie here awake. I stopped counting sheep, now I just count the days till you're back in this bed that I remake every time. And if they ask, I'll say I'm fine. Just like the circus, you always leave town. I can't help but cry when that big top comes down. But I leave the light on, and when you get back home, we'll be fine. And I'll try to sleep, but just lie here awake. I stopped counting sheep, now I just count the days till you're back in this bed that I remake every time. And if they ask, I'll say I'm fine. They always say you don't get to choose, the same old cliche. Love chooses you. So baby, I'll wait just like I always do. And I'll try to sleep, but just lie here awake. I stopped counting sheep, now I just count the days till you're back in this bed that I remake every time. And if they ask, I'll say I'm fine.
Next up in the studio, we have Justin Cody Fox joining us. The band is made up of 4 guys, all currently residing in Wilmington. Justin Cody Fox is the band's name, but also the lead vocals and guitarist.
Justin Cody Fox has been playing guitar professionally since the age of 15. He gained regional notoriety for his guitar playing skills and has written multiple albums that have brought him success.
Justin Cody Fox and his band have a tour coming up, and together they will rock out down the East Coast. Justin's latest album, Go Down Swingin', has been a big hit, and he showcases his creativity.
We are so lucky to have Justin and his band members today, so without further ado, let's give a big Port City welcome to
Justin Cody Fox!
Well, I need truth, so I look to you. You're the realest thing I've ever been close to. But you're so aloof, and baby, I am too. Yeah, you're a beacon light, baby, to guide my ship tonight. I look to you, to be my truth. And I look to you, be my truth. You took my name, and you weren't afraid. Yeah, taking chances, baby, on the dreams we made. We made a little war from a line of love. Yeah, now he's a beacon light, baby, to guide our ship from above. And I look to you, be my truth. And I look to you, be my truth. Time has come to make my wrong. We can have a better life. I do this for our son. The job is done, and we can have a better life. I look to you. I look to you, and I look to you to be my truth. And I look to you, be my truth. And I look to you, now baby, won't you be my truth? Yeah, I look to you, I look to you, I want you to be. True, yeah, and I look to you. Won't you be my truth? release my sanity, 'cause his love won't let me be. Yeah. It's a pain I will endure.
What an awesome performance by both the band Justin Cody Fox and Charlotte.
Right after this break, we're going to sit down with both artists and get to know them a little better.
Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it. We're back with Charlotte and Justin from Justin Cody Fox to talk all things music.
So guys, tell us a little bit about how you got started with music, and Justin, how you got started with the band that you're involved with.
Well, I grew up in a musical family, so it was always around, and you know, at some point, I think I almost got started playing guitar out of jealousy because my dad was teaching my best friend, and I was like, you gotta teach me, you can't just teach him. So I started that way, and then I've been with my bass player for 13 years, so, and I started, I guess you could say my professional career started at 15, so I'm on my 16th year now, so not to give away my age or anything. But
Who's counting?
Yeah, well, I am, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how it started, way back when.
And you, Charlotte?
I grew up singing in church. My grandma, she sang with the third century singers all throughout my childhood, so that was really interesting to me. So I did that, did a little bit of solo stuff, but I competed in my first talent show when I was about 8 years old. That was when I first really kind of started singing solo stuff. I didn't pick up a guitar until about 3 years ago, but I've always sang and done stuff here and there, so that's about it.
Now, Justin, you also teach guitar lessons, correct?
I do.
So how did that come about, or?
You know, it's funny. I can kind of account it to my mom. You know, when I was probably 22, 23, and I was playing, you know, regionally a lot. And when I would come back home, I would just kind of sit on their couch and twiddle my thumbs, you know. And so she was like, "Come on, let's go check out this guitar shop in town." And we went in there, and you know how moms do. She went up to the desk and said, "You should let my son teach here. He's good, you know." And I was like, "Come on."
Typical mom.
And
Gotcha.
you know, next thing I know, I was managing the shop and teaching, you know, 5 nights a week, and it was pretty nice to have a job like that where I could leave and go play and then come back home, and you know, I lived 5 minutes away, so it was pretty convenient. And I've been doing it ever since then, yeah. So thanks, Mom, for that.
And Charlotte, how did you get involved with the Seabells? You used to be president, so you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I came to UCW my freshman year, and I was looking to get involved. I was really involved in stuff when I was in high school, so I knew that I couldn't just sit around and do nothing while I was here. So it was the Involvement Carnival, and I saw these a cappella tunes. It's actually my mom. She found the group on Facebook and was like, "Oh my gosh, you should look them up and audition for them." And it was the year the movie Pitch Perfect came out, so obviously it was this huge deal. But so I signed up and I auditioned. It's really funny because I was actually an hour late to my callback audition. I misread the email, so it was really embarrassing. But thankfully they liked me, so obviously they let me in the group. So I've just been really involved with them since my freshman year. I knew I wanted to lead the group last year, but it was a little bit more than I really wanted to do, so I decided to step down because I wanted to kind of relax my senior year and just kind of get out of here on a good note and stuff. So
That's understandable.
I've loved it ever since. Like sometimes I cry thinking about how I have to leave that awesome group of girls, but they're so talented, and I love singing with them. Singing with them has bettered my voice because I'm constantly singing and stuff. So.
And you guys just went to the ICCAs.
Yes, that was so much fun. We traveled down to Tallahassee, Florida, the last weekend in January to compete. It's a 12-minute set, so we did about 3 songs. We sang a bit of Longtime Traveler, Edge of 17, Stevie Nicks. That's one of my favorite songs. We did Rise Up, and we also did a mashup of Bird Set Free and Alive by Sia. So it's actually very tiring to do that for 12 minutes straight because you have to learn where to take your breaths and stuff. But fortunately, we didn't advance to the next round, but it was honestly a whole different world. It was a door we had never stepped through before. So it was really interesting to see what other groups did and talk to the other groups who have done this for years. We've only been a group for about 6 years now, I think. We were established in 2010. So, and these groups have been 20, 30 years. They're just so established. They know what they're doing. They have alumni that come back and help. And we're just not that old yet. So, but it was interesting to hear their input, and they gave us some pointers and stuff for next year, next couple of years if the girls want to compete in it again. So it was a lot of fun. Definitely something we've never done. But
who are some of y'all's like inspirations growing up or currently who you look up to now?
You know, for me, it's the influence is really anything that inspires me to come up with something creative. But you know, if I had to pinpoint it to certain artists, Stevie Ray Vaughan was kind of the first person that I watched him play, and I thought, I'm going to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But going back further, it's funny that you mentioned Stevie Nicks, because when I was a very small child, my dad had a kind of like a music room, and we had a record player. I've got all his old records now, but he'd put on Fleetwood Mac and the Beatles and stuff like that. So classic rock was definitely the first thing. What about you?
Wow.
I grew up listening to the Eagles, the Beatles. My parents were really into the Bee Gees, so I love that. The Eagles are probably my favorite. I just jam out to honestly like the 70s station on Spotify. That's just one of my favorite stations. But recently I've really gotten into like older country. I love Shania Twain. I'm a huge Carrie Underwood fan. Dolly Parton's my absolute favorite. Everyone probably knows that about me, but Jolene's my favorite song in the entire world. I'm really a big fan of Martina McBride. I really kind of channel her and Martina McBride and Sarah Evans into a lot of like my sounds. So definitely a huge country music fan as well.
Oh yeah.
Same. I just got back from Nashville, so that was a lot of fun. But so even though obviously you guys both kind of have different styles in your own personal music, is there a way that you just kind of connect with all artists, or you know?
I think that the connection is easy when you're talking about music, because you know, music is completely open, obviously, but it follows a set of rules, and it has kind of a common thread through all genres, you know. And I mean, regardless of the fact that you love the Eagles, that's a good tie-in right there to what I do. But I think the relation is easy to make it through all types of artists, and even people that don't do music, and just artists in general. You know, it's an expression, and I think anybody that sees someone that does that can connect to it themselves and kind of share in that camaraderie.
Right. I believe like the performance of it is really important, because especially if you're performing in front of a crowd, like you have to put the emotion and the expression into it, so they can not only sit there and enjoy themselves having the time, but you know, connect with the music, feel the music themselves. That's really important to me as well.
Human Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
If y'all had to pick like one instrument that you've never played before or that you'd love to learn, what instrument would that be?
That's a hard one.
You know, believe it or not, I don't play piano.
Piano?
And
Cool.
you know, I teach a little bit of theory, so I'm pretty familiar with scales and chords and all the stuff that would go along with it. Guitar is a right-handed rhythm instrument with you know, left-handed lead, and piano is, you have your bass notes on the other side, so it kind of would be opposite from me.
Two hands at once?
Yeah, well, this hand would be doing the rhythm, and this hand would be playing the lead, so I'd have to flip my brain around inside my head. But but I do play mandolin, and it's tuned upside down from a guitar.
Wow.
So
That's actually what I was going to say. I would like to learn. My cousin got a mandolin for Christmas, and he brought it over to our family like dinner and stuff, and was playing it, and I was like, oh my gosh,
It's
I
fun.
need one of those.
it's fun.
Yeah.
I wish I
That's
could
funny
play.
that
I'll give you a
said
card.
that.
I'll give you a card.
So you have a family, are they, you know, 2 kids and a wife, are they an inspiration to your music now, or have you changed anything since the beginning to?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think when I first started writing albums, the first couple albums I did, you know, I was very young. I did my first record when I was 18. And, you know, a lot of the songs on that record, and it was just called Medusa Stone, so it was just a self-titled record. And a lot of those songs, you kind of just come up with a theme that you think would make a good song. You know, like a girl was mean to you or something, you know, or do you want to hit the road? And as I've gotten older, I've always tried to write more from personal experience, but you know, the past couple projects I've done, you know, you're going to write about what's happening in your life, and this last record I just put out, I mean, it's basically a love letter to my family, you know. So whether I intentionally formulated it to be a complete work like that, it kind of ended up being that way. So for one of my friends, actually one of my friends reviewed it, Brian Tucker, and he called me on the phone. He said, "You sure do love your family." He said that's a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, it definitely affects how you write and even perform, I'd say.
Charlotte, do you write any of your own music, or?
When I was like 8, I thought I could. You know, boy broke my heart in elementary school, but I don't. That's something I've always wanted to try, but it's really kind of hard for me. channeling like personal experiences into like poem and lyric and stuff. So that's something I eventually want to start working on. But right now I just really enjoy covering the good old songs and just seeing what I like best.
What is y'all's like guilty pleasure music? Like your not typical go-to type of music?
Well, I'm a huge Broadway nerd. I really, I really love Barbra Streisand. She's my lady. She's my lady jam. But that's definitely something like my shower car ride song. Like that's what I jam to is Broadway stuff.
I love Miley Cyrus.
Hey, I do too.
What's your favorite song by her? Party in the USA?
Well, actually, that is one of my faves, but I do like, I cover Wrecking Ball, so.
Oh, okay.
And also,
Wow.
I like her version of Jolene. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, duh, yeah.
It's very good. It's very good. So she didn't even. I mean, I even like her kind of crazy phase she went through. I was like,
I saw
with
her
me.
Crazy Phase in concert.
Did you?
Bangers.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
probably.
kind of life changing.
Yeah.
If you ask me, yeah.
So, well, she's kind of on the down slope from that now. So
Kind of, yeah.
maybe.
Still dresses a little odd, but
Yeah.
Well, who hasn't?
Well, I know you both have huge futures ahead of you. Charlotte, what do you envision your future looking like?
Well, as of right now, I'm just focused on graduating this coming May and getting a job somewhere so I can support myself. I would love to one day have a career in music, but obviously that takes some time and a little bit ambition and stuff. I've looked for jobs in Nashville and other like big music places like Atlanta and stuff as well. So I feel like it'd be cool to move there and have a full-time job, but on the side kind of pursue a music career. It's definitely something I've always wanted to do, but getting a college degree was really important too as well.
No,
just, you know, because the music dream doesn't really happen for everyone. So
Yeah,
but hopefully music's in my future, but we'll see.
for sure.
What about you, Justin? You have a tour coming up. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, it was actually my wife's suggestion.
Just want to get you out of the house.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd been kind of calmed down for maybe a year or two since, because my first son was born, and I didn't really take much time off because I was doing my project and playing in a country band. So we were playing in, you know, we actually going down to South Carolina and Myrtle Beach and stuff a lot. So I was getting home at like 3:30 in the morning, but for a long time. But I'm really excited about the tour, and you know, hopefully I can use it as a springboard to get a better circuit of venues together, because we've really traveled up north a lot, and you know, down south we've toured in the Caribbean and all that kind of stuff, but we've never really gone as far as Texas, you know.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be out for 25 days, and I've tried to do this tour a little bit smarter, and I've tried to think about things I could coincide with what I'm doing. And I work with Step Up for Soldiers a little bit. I gave them a song to use, and anybody that goes to stepupforsoldiers.org can download the song, and all the money goes to their organization.
That's awesome.
Of course, it's one of the $2.99 songs. So 'cause I wanted them to get it. So, you know, if you're going to donate, you might as well give them $3. But so I contacted them. I said, hey, I'm doing this tour. Is there any way we could kind of work together on getting me in touch with some veterans or active duty service people along the way? Because I'm going to have some free time for 25 days during the day, you know, regardless of if we have a night off or if we're just traveling. But so they're supposed to be putting me in contact with a couple, you know, ladies and gentlemen from our service people, and we're going to give them a care package. We're kind of trying to represent North Carolina in the travel and say, here's a care package from North Carolina business. Thank you for your service, and this is from Step Up for Soldiers. And
That's awesome.
so, you know, and after that, future-wise, for me, is just to keep working. Like you said, it's the dream of being a musician is one thing, and then there's the work of it. So I kind of have a crossroads that I try to work both sides. I'm pursuing the biggest goals, but I'm also trying to treat what I do almost as a business and make sure that I've got work, you know, for at least a year at a time. So I'm just taking it a year at a time right now, I guess.
Well, good luck with the tour. If you guys want to read more and get more information, you can go to justincodyfox.com, and all the tour information will be on there. So thank you guys so much. You guys were amazing, and we really appreciate you coming on the show. As always, I'm Jenna.
And I'm Morgan.
See you next time.